the Raw Boxing TV studios. Your host, Ranger. Information may cause headaches to hates or bias casual fans.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
The host that gives you facts with very little feelings. From the city of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
Louisville, Kentucky. It's showtime.
What is going on, people? Come on in. Let's talk about the sport we all love. Shall we? Yes. There's plenty of subject matter to talk about. And I have not been in front of this camera for over a week now. So come on in. This is really interesting what's going on. Let me drop this music a bit. I'm not trying to get you all crunked up in the morning. Some of y'all are just now waking up. And I understand it was a late nighter last night, especially for those of the East Coast. If you're out there by the West Coast Pacific time, I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. You're still asleep, and it's all good. If you see this after it loads up. Man, I haven't been able to do any videos this past week because mainly I've been working and I've been cranking. I've been traveling a lot. You know, when the company says go, you got to go, especially if they paying the money that they paying, you know. And so with that being said, you don't ask questions, you just get up and go. Shouts out to the people in Jackson, Mississippi. I was there. Jackson, Tennessee as well. Shouts out to the people in Nashville, Tennessee. Shouts out to the people in Cincinnati, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Mansfield, Ohio. Shouts out to all of y'all. I was all over those places last week, and it was just no time to do any videos. Getting a little tea here. The White from The Office. Boy, things are getting lit up. What's going on with the sport of boxing? Last night, Conor McGregor was stopped by Dustin Poirier. He was completely stopped by Dustin. The whole world saw him lay there like a little gazelle being eaten up by a lion, strangled in the floor, laying there gasping for air like a little gazelle in the floor. Yes, Conor McGregor, the man that was supposed to be getting in the ring with Manny the Pac-Man Pacquiao. But now, what's going to happen? We need to talk about that today. I want to thank you for joining me live, obviously, unannounced, obviously, unscheduled. So I appreciate for those of you that are going to be here, be active in the comment section. Also, to remind you to hit the jab button. If you have not subscribed to me and you enjoy the content, please do so. Subscribe, activate the notification bell and select all. And if you find it in your heart to financially support the channel, my Cash App is at Rawboxing TV, $ at Rawboxing TV. Man, oh man, what's going to happen, especially with the lightweight division? One of the biggest stars might be abandoning the lightweight division to move up 2 weight divisions to fight Manny, the Pac-Man Pacquiao. Today's going to be raw, guys. I got the kids with me. You might hear some kids. I might have to step out for a little bit. What's up, Papa? You got to stay quiet. I'm working, all right? So, guys, listen. We all saw it last night. The minute Conor McGregor got in there, it was a done deal. It was a done deal. You saw how stiff he was. You saw that he wasn't his normal self. Let's start off with the UFC 257. Let's talk about that main event. Because this is a fighter that is obviously very important for both worlds. And you might think Conor McGregor is not important for boxing, but you're absolutely mistaken. I smell a little bit of haterade on that if you think in that manner. Why? Because let's face it, a lot of MMA fans can easily be transformed into boxing fans. Crooked head, there you go. Can easily be transformed into boxing fans, guys. A lot of MMA fans are ex-boxing fans that have gotten tired of all the BS in boxing and have crossed the border to the chain link fence, to the octagon. And so last night we saw Conor McGregor, a fighter that's usually very elusive, very relaxed in there, very slickster, very technical, very methodical. We saw him in there against Justin Poirier, somebody who's been active, somebody that's been wiping out the division, somebody that's been moving everything that stands in his way, except for Khabib Nurmagomedov. Which, by the way, shouts out to Khabib Nurmagomedov, man. To me, Khabib Nurmagomedov pretty much still lives. He moved in with his entire family, his entire country, to Conor McGregor's mind. That night still lives in Conor McGregor's mind. That night when Khabib Nurmagomedov beat him at the stand-up, dropped him, beat him at the ground game, overworked him, gassed him, and then took his neck like a crocodile grabs a little gazelle in the water when she's out for drinking water. And there we saw Conor McGregor like a little gazelle tapping out. And last night, we saw him at Swell, sleeping like a little gazelle in the floor, gasping for air. Conor McGregor was not himself last night. And the minute that he dropped so low, opened his legs so much, it released the ability of having free movement, elusive movement. Poirier was able to capitalize on that and started checking the front leg. Huh? No, it's not coffee. It's tea, boy. Go sit over. It's the Raw House, people. And the wife is shopping. And I got to take care of the kids. And I got to do this live for y'all. So you're going to bear with me, right? Remember to be active in the comment section. Justin Poirier was able to capitalize on the fact that Conor McGregor has his legs wide open. I mean, you cannot have your legs that open and expect to move in and out so quick. Angles so quick. Avoid takedowns so quick. So Justin Poirier, being the smart as he's become, he started checking that front leg. He sure did. That first one, that's when the damage occurred, according to McGregor and according to Poirier. Poirier said, I landed that one on you. He looked at Conor McGregor behind on the back, and he said, I landed that first one on you, and I knew I had you. That was the very good one. And boy, was he right. You saw Conor McGregor limping. What, baby? You can't touch nothing, okay? You saw Conor McGregor limping. Look at this boy. Look at all that curly hair. Look at all that curly hair. Go sit with Sis over there. Come on. Go watch your movie over there. So I can talk with the Raw House here. Anyway, the counter punch was there also for Poirier. Both of them were counter punching themselves. Obviously, we all know that Conor McGregor is very slick, a slick fighter most of the time. 80% of the time, it's going to be the guy that's waiting for you to make the slightless of movement so that he can capitalize on it and counter punch you. And both of them were trying to do that last night. But it was obvious the inactivity of Conor McGregor. And it was obvious that tenacity of Justin Poirier. Congratulations, Mr. Justin Poirier. And it was obvious the fact that the hunger was there for Justin Poirier. And it was obvious the fact that revenge was in his mind last night. It was obvious, people. He gets caught against the fence, and bam, he's laid out like a little gazelle. He's laid out. With that being said, the question we have to ask ourselves now is the following. Okay, after Conor McGregor getting knocked out in his own arena, his own sport, his own world, the world where he is the notorious, you as a boxing fan, you as an MMA fan, if you're looking at me, if you're an MMA fan, if you don't watch boxing, if you just follow, welcome. If you don't mind, please hit the thumbs up. The question we have to ask ourselves is, now that this has happened, what in the world is going to happen between Pacquiao and McGregor? What in the world? Only one, okay? What in the world is going to happen? Absolutely nothing. In my humble opinion, me as a boxing fan, I'm not interested. Because Manny Pacquiao is not Mayweather. That's just going to outpoint you, outclass you. Pinocchio! Come on, dog. Don't be that evil to the notorious Conor McGregor. He was just landing there like a gazelle, gasping for air last night. He's not a taxi cab driver. Come on, mate. As a boxing fan, I don't want to see that Pacquiao. Well, okay. Let me fix that. I'm gonna take that hat off. Look at that. That's what those hats do to me. It's all good though. As a boxing fan, I don't want to see that fight happen because I know it's not going to be competitive. It's not. I mean, anything can happen. You put two gloves on, your opponent has two arms just as well as you. Conor McGregor is no dummy. He can see your punches coming, and the first 6 rounds is very dangerous. But anything can happen. But I just see Pacquiao eating away like the game, you know? Like the game. I just see Pacquiao going through Conor McGregor with ease, putting a hurting on him. You know? I just, it's clear. I don't think, I got to be honest with you. I have to be extremely honest with you. If that fight happens, it's not going to bring money. Now, there's talks that Ryan Garcia, it's moving up to fight Manny Pacquiao, a man who hasn't fought in 2 years, a man that has legend written next to him. Think about that for a minute. Ryan Garcia, who was initially after Tank Davis, they're now talking about him moving up to fight Manny Pacquiao. That's crazy to me. Now, don't get me wrong. As a boxing fan, if it happens, guess who's going to be there watching it? Me. I'll be watching it. I got to be honest with you. I'm not gonna fake here like, no, I won't watch it. I can't stand what's being done to the sport of boxing. No, I can't stand it. But as a fight fan, as a boxing fan, I'm going to be there watching it. Am I happy with it? No. Do I wish it happens now? No. Do I wish Ryan Garcia abandons the 135-pound division to move up 2-weight division and fight Manny Pacquiao? No. No, I don't. Why, you might say? Why, Ranger? Because at 135, he's still got good fights. At 140 pounds, he's still got good fights. But I also understand from the business side of it, and that is the part I hate the most. I hate the gossip of the sport. I hate the business aspect of the sport, but unfortunately, it needs to be mixed in the conversation, even if I don't like it. That's just a fact. Does Ryan Garcia has holes in his game? Of course he has holes in his game. Of course. Is he growing up as a pup? Yes, he is. Is he ready for Pacquiao? I don't think so. I don't think so. A hit from Luke Campbell is not a hit from Pacquiao. Does Ryan has the speed and power to KO Manny Pacquiao? At 135, we've seen it. We ain't never seen it carried over to 140, let alone to 147. We have never seen that. But I understand why it's happening. Money. Mega amounts of money. The kid that has over 6 million followers on Instagram. The kid that has over 10 million followers on YouTube. It's potentially going to make a mega money fight against the man who has an entire country behind him. It's all money, people. And yes, in your mind, you can kind of play out the fight, and it seems exciting because in your mind, you can only see the 135-pound Ryan Garcia versus the 147-old Manny Pacquiao. But please do not forget that this 135-pound Ryan Garcia is no longer going to exist if this fight happens. This is going to be a Ryan Garcia you've never seen 2 weight divisions higher. We've seen what happens to some fighters who experience a 2 weight division jump. Excellent fighters like Guillermo Rigondeaux moved up 2 weight division to fight a fighter that was good, almost as good as him. And he was frozen. The counters were there, but his body would not listen to his mind. His reaction time wasn't there. His speed wasn't there. His power wasn't there. His leg movement wasn't there. Great fighter, but not at that weight division. Even Lomachenko said it. Remember? Yeah, he's the king, but he's the king down there. Up here, I'm the king. And he was right. Ryan Garcia, at 147 pounds, we don't know if you're going to beat King Ryan. We just don't know that, bub. I don't know. I don't understand why. HLD, what's up, my homie? I don't understand why this fight is even being talked about other than money. Because before, Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor was the money fight. But last night, Conor McGregor lay there like a little gazelle, gasping for air. And that's a fact. With that taking place, you have to ask yourself, what is the interest of boxing fans? What is the interest of MMA fans if a fight between this man laying down right here, gasping for air like a little, was to take place versus Manny Pacquiao? If this happened in his own world, if this happened in his own universe, if this happened in the sport where he's most comfortable at, what in the world you're going to think is going to happen against Manny Pacquiao? Ignorant Boxing in the house. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be dropping the link pretty soon, guys. Let me just get a few things out of my chest, and you guys can jump in. I'll take up to 10 of y'all today. It's going to be raw today, guys. I got the kids, like I said. So you're going to get a little noise. Man, listen, we don't have to be harsh in the way that some of the channels are being out there. We just know here. I'll throw the link here now. Just nobody calls in yet. Nobody calls in yet, just so that I can get a few things out of my chest. With Conor McGregor out of the picture in this manner, I highly doubt, I honestly doubt that this fight versus Manny Pacquiao has any spark of interest in fans, both from the MMA world and from the boxing world. I highly doubt it, guys. Because at the end of the day, had Conor McGregor destroyed Justin Poirier last night, it would have sparked the interest of, damn, well, Conor McGregor could possibly be working in his boxing. He's looking good. Damn, Manny Pacquiao has not fought in 2 years. I wonder what's going to happen. The Filipino fans would have supported Manny Pacquiao regardless if he hasn't fought in 138 years. And that is a faithful following, which I can appreciate that always. The boxing fan would have been like, damn, I think Manny Pacquiao's chewing a little more than he can handle here, you know? The Flomos would have been like, yeah, I want to buy it because I want to see Manny Pacquiao get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? The Irish fan would have been like, yes, Conor McGregor is going to destroy this man. And the MMA fans gonna be like, damn, I like this fight. This is gonna be good. I think Conor's gonna knock him out. He hasn't fought in 2 years. But after seeing what happened last night, I absolutely see no interest. I personally don't care for the fight no more. And I was never opposed to the fight. I was only against the fight if there was going to be a world title involved in it. But I was never opposed Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor because I was never opposed of a Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. So we keep the same energy so that we can remain honest to the people that take the time out of their day to sit in front of a computer and listen to us speak. As a fight fan, meaning in general, not just boxing, as a fight fan, I can't be opposed against such a fight. It's a fight. I don't think the fight should have ever gone to Mayweather's record, but it did. There's nothing we can do about it. I don't think versus Pacquiao, a title should have been involved in it, but there was talks that it was going to happen. There was nothing we could have done about it. All we had left was, as a fight fan, you can start calling in now, guys. As a fight fan, the only thing we had left to do was just sit and watch. I agree. HLD. And if any of you want to call in, man, there's the link right there in the on the comment section. I agree. Conor McGregor last night looked very slow, guys. The inactivity. This was due to inactivity. This was due by that stance that he used last night, where he spread them legs so open. He usually does use a wide stand, but it's a little shorter. He bends his knees a little more. Okay. His upper body's well balanced, well centered, which allows him to boom, boom, move in and out with lightning speed. Last night, that wasn't there. And yeah, maybe last night, the hunger wasn't there. But don't forget about one thing here. Conor McGregor is notorious. Yes, this is where his name fits perfectly. He is notorious for subliminally quitting when he's in trouble. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. With Nick Diaz, you saw him when he was down on the floor. He knew he wasn't getting out. So what does he do? He doesn't try to defend himself. Blocking, moving, grabbing Nick, holding him. He just gives him his back and lets him go to work. He quit. Versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. He quit. No lies, no hate. I love both fighters. Yeah, I agree, but that's not Conor. That is not Conor. So I'm guessing that last night was just the lack of inactivity. He just felt comfortable at that position. So who knows? Who knows? Against Khabib, he quit. He was up against the fence. He had been pummeled all night. He hadn't won a single round. People gave him a round. I didn't. I did not give him a single round. It was impossible for me to give him a round. Khabib was putting too much work in him, beating him in the takedown, beating him in the stand-up, counterpunching him, dropping him, talking to him. You like to talk now? Talk about my family now. Hey, you chicken, talk now. Let's talk. And Conor was like, it's just business, Mike. Nah, homie, this ain't just business. Business was outside of the fence. In the fence, it's the other kind of business. It's the bloody business. He quit, guys. Last night, I don't know if he quit. I just think that mentally he started shutting down after seeing a Justin Poirier, a person he's already obliterated, just keep coming, beat him at his own game, counterpunch him at will, destroying his front calf, which he did. He gasped a little bit due to conditioning, lack of activity, octagon rust, because we can't say ring rust, right? I'm the one that's rusted. Hold on. He got caught with a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful right hook, dropped him, and then he finished him in the floor. And now I want you to use your imagination. Let me ask a question to those that are here in the panel. Are you, as a fight fan, not a boxing fan, not an MMA fan, not a Conor fan, not a Pacquiao fan, not a hater of either or, as a fight fan, the people that are willing to watch a scrap, do you think this fight sparks an interest? Not on me, I'm sorry. Now, if you ask me, it sparks more of an interest than Pacquiao Garcia does. I agree, Pinocchio. I agree. A very rich clown and a very smart businessman. A person that I don't know if you guys knew, but I think Conor McGregor owns certain percentages of the UFC. Not only that, his whiskey brand, Proper 12, it's all over the place. He's making millions with his whiskeys. Not only that, he made millions last night, not only as a fighter, but as an owner, as a partial owner of the organization. Yeah, it could be true. He deep inside, he's a fighter who still wants to fight. But it's just not there no more. He says he's going to continue. He says he's going to regroup. He says he's going to put activity. Makes sense. He says he's going to make some more good fights, potentially a third one with Nick Diaz. But we just don't know what's going to happen. I tell you what, for the Conor McGregor hater, that's music to their ear because they can see Conor McGregor continuing in the MMA and just destroying his legacy. Just losing and losing, and they get to see that high of seeing him defeated. I can kind of see how the haters. How about our boy Roy? Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about that fight. Last night, I've got to be honest with you. I was more focused on MMA than I was in boxing. The Rolly, I was flipping back and forward, but for some reason I found myself staying at the MMA side a lot longer. So it was, fortunately, yeah. I think I missed a good fight apparently, not only on Rolly but on the other fight. Rolly was just being Rolly, power, looking for knockout, a bit stiff at times. Needs to relax on his work a little more. From what I saw, maybe that was just parts of the fights that I saw. Maybe he did a lot better, but at times there he was just too stiff. Rolly needs to really work. He's got the power. Focus on your craft. Focus on your technical aspect. Focus on your movement. Focus on being relaxed in there. When you're relaxed, you still carry power. Focus on implementing a little more speed. When you have speed and timing, you also carry power. Stop thinking about knockout, and then you're all stiff and you're getting touched. What's up, homie? Okay, just over there, and I'll go. Give me a few minutes. Kids. So that's my whole thing with Rolly. He's still working. Yeah, he's a bit stiff. Just looking for that KO all the time. And he doesn't always show up. What do I think about last night? Unfortunately, like I said, man, I wish I could give you a better answer. But if you're talking about boxing, last night I was more into Pacquiao. Into McGregor in the UFC 257 because there was a lot of good fights there that I wanted to see. I was more focused on that than I was in boxing, unfortunately. And he wasn't like on purpose. I just found myself staying there a little longer. I hope I can give you, I wish I could give you a better answer, Pinocchio, but I just can't. I'm not going to sit here and make up something in my mind just to satisfy you and then on the process also lie to you. I don't want to be a Pinocchio. How's that? HLD, my homie who's afraid to call in today. Let's see. Pacquiao versus Ryan could ruin Ryan's career and mental development. Pacquiao will destroy him. It's only about the money and fame via shortcuts. Honor and legacy does not mean much anymore. I couldn't agree with you more. And don't get me wrong, we're still talking about the sport that surprises us. I'm sitting here thinking Ryan will get destroyed, but all it takes is one punch from Ryan, and he might be able to change the history. But we can only go by the apparent evidence, and the evidence is that Ryan Garcia never fought at 140, let alone a 147. I like the kid. We need to protect this kid. This is reckless. If we're going to be going into it like Canelo did, I just go with Mayweather because I'm not going to beat him, but it's going to be good for my career and I'm going to make a bunch of money. That's a whole different situation because at least Canelo was at his weight division. So he felt like he had a chance. So he lost, but he learned. And so with that being said, just a minute, guys. I don't want to see this fight, man. I don't want to see Ryan Garcia be moved up, be completely broken physically, be completely broken mentally, then move back down to 140 or down to 135. He's still a kid. He can play with his weight at will. And then all of a sudden get touched and be destroyed. I just don't want to see that, guys. What up, Javi? What's up, brother? Welcome. Just to remind you guys, if you scroll up, any of you want to call in, if you scroll up, you'll see my comment with the stream key there. Just call in. We'll have a little bit of a talk. Today, I got some time, guys. I apologize. I have not done any content this past week. Like I said, I've been everywhere. Shouts out to Jackson, Mississippi. I was there. Jackson, Tennessee. I was there. Nashville, Tennessee. Mansfield, Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio. New York City. And this week is going to be the same. I'll probably be in New York City for about 13 hours. And then after that, tonight I'm going to be at a place called, because I'm leaving tonight. Tonight I'm going to be at a place called Tamarack, West Virginia, in the middle of the bones, out there in the mountains. I'm going to go over and drink me some moonshine. But that's what a brother got to do to put food on the table, guys. And with the kind of money I make, when the phone call comes up, I got to pick it up and I got to roll. So I don't want to see Ryan Garcia just all of a sudden be destroyed. Whatever happens to the days when a fighter valued his legacy, his print in the sport of boxing? Look at Ryan Garcia's own promoter, a man who never backed down from a challenge, but a man that brought forth the legacy, the man that carried boxing in his shoulder. Pay-per-view king. The original pay-per-view king was Oscar De La Hoya. There's no way, I don't care how much you hate Oscar De La Hoya, there's no way you're going to tell me Oscar De La Hoya didn't leave legacy in the sport. Yes, he did. Well, he lost versus Trinidad. Arguably got robbed versus Trinidad. He lost versus Bernard Hopkins. Yes, he should have never been in there with Bernard Hopkins. Well, he lost against Felix Sturm. Yes, he should have never been in there at the weight division. He got to give versus Sturm. What's up, baby? Legacy needs to be cherished again. If you're not in it for legacy, then belts start losing meaning. If you're not in it for legacy, then being the number one at your weight division absolutely means nothing. If you're just in there for the money, yeah, you might get the one big payday, but that's about it. If you do it for legacy, legacy is a locomotive that attached to it brings belts, popularity, and money. But if you just want to have one of the train carts and the locomotive is nowhere to be seen, you're going to get in the train cart, which is money, and you ain't going nowhere. Think about it. Why not focus on being the best? And along with that, here comes money. Here comes belts. Here comes fans, popularity. Here comes commercial deals. Here come your own promotional company. Here comes your name being mentioned all over the sport of boxing. Legacy. ¿Qué hola con Rolly? Did you watch that? Last night, guys, man, I saw clips of that fight. As I was saying, man, I was focused more on UFC last night for some reason, and Rolly's still at work, man, and Rolly is all power as of now. It's a bit too stiff for my liking right now. Good fighter, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking nothing from him. He just needs to focus his work somewhere else. The power's already there. He needs a better. No, I'm not going to say that. Let me keep that in for another video. Yeah. If you're referring about Conor McGregor, a big payday with a big butt whipping. A big one. Let's see, Pinocchio. He said, man, no way you will let go of a multi-million fight with Pacquiao. Well, that's my whole thing there. The money, right? Look at your comment, Pinocchio. No way you'll let go of a multi-million belts? No, multi-million dollar fight. Fight with Pacquiao. There's no way. Let me ask you a question. Ryan Garcia gets in there. Let's say they have a 2-fight deal signed. Pinocchio, this is to you. And I'm not beefing or nothing. I'm just simply, we're having a conversation here. Don't go by the fact that I do all this and I talk. That's the Cuban in me. The white from The Office. Let's say there's a dual fight contract. Millions of dollars at play. Ryan Garcia, undefeated prospect, because I don't consider him top of the food chain just yet. Undefeated prospect moves up 2-weight division to fight a legend, 8-division world champion Manny the Pac-Man Pacquiao. And in the very first fight, Manny Pacquiao completely destroys Ryan Garcia. What's next? Well, we got a 2-fight deal, so we got to fight the second time. No, we don't. The 2-fight deal just means that if you beat the guy with more name, if you beat the legend has a chance to get him back at you. The 2-fight deal means if that legend beats you, he might choose to fight you. He might choose to give you a little payout and move you out the way, because he's already beaten you. Because he knows if he fights you again, people are not going to have the curiosity of what's going to happen. So now we have a Ryan Garcia that is completely broken, because he will be broken. What is going to happen with that Ryan Garcia? Star Power Entertainment. Welcome to the house, man. Appreciate you stopping in. If you guys have not hit the like button, man, hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, don't do so until you decide whether you have enjoyed the content or not. I don't want you to subscribe if you don't enjoy what I do. Only do so if you enjoy it. And if you do so while you're at it, activate the notification bell right next to it. And that's that. Let me see what Star Power has to say here. The reality is that all that drinking and drug abuse finally caught up to Conor. His skills diminished big time. And was sad because he got beat by a bum. I'm sorry, but that's Poirier, dude. A bum. You know, I partially agree with you. I didn't know about the drug part, so I do know about the drinking part. But I say it was more than that. There's a whole lot of things mixed into this power. We've been talking about it. There's a whole lot of things mixed into this. I'm gonna post the link again, guys. Any of you wants to call in, do so, and we'll have a little chat. There's the fact that of the inactivity. There's the fact that there is no hunger. There's the fact that he's done it all in the sport. There's the fact that he makes money even if he doesn't fight because he's partially owner of the sport. He owns, I think, about a 9 or a 10% of the sport. So anything the UFC makes, 10% goes to him. There's the fact that he owns Proper 12, the whiskey brand. There's the fact that commercials, he just makes money. And then you mix in the drugs, then you mix in the alcohol, then you mix in all of that stuff. And yeah, I can see why we saw what we saw last night. We saw him right there, like a little gazelle asking for air. Javi Cuban, Poirier is a bum. What the F? Like I said at the beginning of the live, Justin's been wiping everything out in front of him except for Khabib. So I don't know much about the sport of MMA. I'm now getting into it because I want to mix it in my channel, but I personally don't think he's a bomb. He's a good fighter who's progressing and has been beating a lot of people up. So, and Star Power and Entertainment says he's a bump, and that's to his liking, I guess. Pinocchio, nothing wrong. Ryan will secure his future, and later, if he wants, continue with his fight. Yeah, correct. Just a minute, guys. Give me a second. I'm gonna step out. Just a minute. I got the wife calling. Yeah, just a minute. We back. Hey, be quiet, little man. I just don't want to see Ryan Garcia go out there and secure his financial future for just that amount of money when Ryan Garcia is potentially going to be making millions regardless. You cannot deny that, Pinocchio. If you focus on your legacy, what's up, kid? If you focus on your legacy, you're going to place legacy over money. Ryan Garcia already makes millions of dollars on YouTube alone. Every time he posts something on Instagram, it's millions of dollars coming to him. He has his clothing line. He has his sunglasses line, and then he makes money in boxing. Secure his future, Pinocchio? If I was Ryan Garcia, I would secure my legacy because my legacy comes attached with belts and loads of money. Loads of money. Javi Cuban, you must not watch UFC except when Conor fight. Oh, he's talking about that. Okay, you talking about Star Power and Entertainment. Guys, don't beef. Come on. Let's just enjoy here. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy the what we're talking about here. I can understand the difference of opinion. I can understand the difference of opinion. G Funky in the house. Welcome, my brother. Welcome. Ignorant Boxing. This is Conor can always fight Jake Paul. You got jokes, bro. You got jokes, bro. Hey, but I guess you're right. If Floyd Mayweather can do it, why can't Conor? And listen to this. Not Jake, but Logan Paul has a hell of a wrestling background. A hell of a wrestling background, guys. You probably don't know this. Not even that Brazilian fighter was able to keep him down or take him down. Saulo Costa, whatever his name is. Paulo Costa, whatever. The kid was defending the takedown. Turn him on the floor. The kid was a good wrestler. So, but you got jokes, bro. You got jokes. Ignorant boxing all over again. And Ryan Garcia, modeling and acting career will start after Manny destroys him. I agree. It doesn't make sense. Look, if we were talking about a fight between him and Pacquiao at 140 pounds, we could have the argument that maybe he can catch him because he's drained, he's in activity, blah, 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 blah. But if Ryan is going to move up 2 weight divisions to fight Manny Pacquiao, I can see a Rigondeaux versus Lomachenko all over again. And we don't need this. This kid doesn't need Pacquiao. Pacquiao does need him. He doesn't need Pacquiao. He doesn't need Pacquiao. That fight makes absolutely no sense other than money. And last I checked, Ryan Garcia doesn't need the money. Yeah, I know the hater channels, the Haniacs, the Tanksexville, all of those people talk about, oh, he only made this much in boxing, but they're not considering that he's making millions in YouTube. He's making millions with his sunglasses and clothing line. He's making millions every time he puts something on Instagram that is commercialized. The kid financially is set and will continue to increase his purse and his paydays as his career continue full of legacy. He doesn't need Pacquiao. G Funky, orale raza. HCP. For sure, my brother. I'm not hating on Ryan Garcia. I absolutely like the kid. That's why I don't want to see this fight happen. Pinocchio, let me ask you a question. Are you a liar? Why you name yourself Pinocchio Liar Jr.? Come on, dude. If for any chance Ryan wins, anything can happen. He will make a lot of... I agree, brother. No, listen, that's why I said this is a sport where your opponent has 2 hands and anything can happen. But look, right now the evidence are one-sided, not balanced. This is Pacquiao. This is Ryan. But I agree. But I have to go with the evidence. Welcome, Ashley Martinez. Welcome. Man, I agree. But I don't know that we can call Ryan spoiled. And here's why. We're not going to deny that the kid had in his family a lot of financial struggles. I mean, they're saying somebody even bought their house. They didn't even know about it. The bank had sold their house. The guy shows up to his house, knocks on the door and says, I just bought your house. Here's $3,000 for your key. You guys have a certain amount of time to abandon it. So then the kid does what he does. He works into, his way back up. He makes his money. He buys himself a Lambo. He buys it. He treats himself to, I don't know if I can call that spoiled, but hey, to each his own, right? I have to respect your opinion. If that's spoiled to you, or maybe you know something I don't know. So, but I wish they would value the title belts a lot more than they value the Lamborghinis. I do agree with you on that. I wish that legacy was a valued thing in the sport of boxing all over again. Legacy is the locomotive, as I said. Attached to the locomotives are cards, belts, popularity, money, commercial deals, promotional companies, being your promoter, being your own boss. But the locomotive has to be legacy. If you don't use the locomotives, the train cars ain't moving at all, homie. You might just get in them, but you ain't going nowhere with it. It's a one-stop shop. I got you, Javi. I got you, brother. I got you. Ashley Martinez. If Pacquiao takes Ryan's head off, 75% to 90% of his fan base disappears. Especially the ones that don't know much about boxing. I can see him keeping the high school girls, the cheerleader teams that are after him because of his looks. And hey, I'm not knocking them. And I'm not knocking him for having it. If I had 7 million people after me because they liked the way I looked, I'll rock with it. Because guess what? The minute I do this, hey guys, this is my new sunglasses line. Go to my website right now, man, and catch them. You know, I got 7 million subscribers. Say that only 1 million people show up to buy it. $20 a pop. That's 20 million in my pocket. So that's business. I get that aspect of it. We don't need that. And there is something I got against Ryan Garcia. We can't forget about what he said about Tank Davis. He said, Tank Davis, if you don't fight me, you're not a real man. Or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. So my question now to Ryan Garcia is, you've been calling Tank Davis. We got to keep the same energy, guys. Raw Boxing TV, unbiased. If Davis was not a real man because he wasn't going to fight you, now that Davis was taking it serious, and now you're not fighting Davis, regardless if it's a money move, what are you going to say? We got to stay consistent on the same energy. I absolutely love that kid. The way he fights. Yes, he's full of holes, but he's just a pup growing in the sport. Yes, he makes mistakes, but look, he's growing. In last fight he fought a guy who had never been stopped, and he stopped him. But to go from 135-pound fighting a Luke Campbell to move up two-weight division to fight a Manny Pacquiao, it's suicidal for your career. Suicidal for your career. Yes. His mouth is catching up to him. And you know what that is, Martinez? Part of it is his immaturity. Part of it is his hunger, his drive, his youthful drive. You know, as young pups, we used to say some dumb things sometimes, and then we will regret it. That's what you're seeing with Ryan Garcia right now. It takes a good team around you to say, hey, yo, chill with what you're saying. Listen, this is what you said. Now, this is what you're doing. You're going to have to chill with that. Say this. Advise him on how to construct an argument, a comment. Advise him on doing all of that. Johnny Diaz, what's up, homie? Oh, shoot, yeah, you follow me on Instagram too, yeah. Hey, man, welcome. To be honest, if Pacquiao fights Ryan, if Ryan does good, even loses, even if he loses, then Ryan would get more credit and respect. But the bad thing is that Pacquiao can hurt Ryan. He would be damaged goods. I am leaning towards the damaged goods a lot more than Ryan Garcia doing good. And the only reason I say that is because it's a two-weight division jump. It's a two-weight division jump, guys. I don't want to see this fight if it's going to take place at 147 pounds with no fights in between. I just don't. Canos Loco Sports, mi boricua. What's going on, my brother? Hope everything's good down there where you at, brother. Hope everything's good. I got to tell you, you're one of my favorite channels. You keep it real. And you got to keep it real. And you got to stay real. You got to stay real while the people are hating on you. Suck in that hate, turn it into oxygen, and allow you to push forward. Beautiful, beautiful hate. Turn into oxygen. Robert Guerra. He should learn from Mikey Garcia. Yes. I don't listen. I don't want to see this fight, even if he fights one fight at 140 and then his next fight, Manny Pacquiao, at 147. It doesn't make sense for his career other than money. It doesn't. And you guys are quiet today. I'm going to drop this link again. Any of you want to call in? Let's rock. I'm not posting this to argue with you. I'm posting this to picture it as you just me popping into your house or vice versa and just, hey, man, you got a Coke? Yeah, let me get one. Put a little bit of ice in it. Let's talk some boxing. Let's talk some boxing. There's a link. Don't be shy. Javi Kua said, that's what's needed in the sport. Look at UFC. Losses don't really matter. And the top dogs are always fighting each other. Yes. Yes. Cano Loco Sports. What's up, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? I don't know what the topic is. I just got home, so.
Listen, no, man, we're basically talking about last night, Conor being destroyed, and then if there's any potential interest now for a Pacquiao versus Conor, and then also today I heard that apparently the Pacquiao versus Ryan Garcia at 147 pounds, it's a lot more serious than we expected it. So if you like to weigh in on that, man.
Hey, the only thing that would make sense for that would be a money grab. I don't see him. I don't believe he thinks he could beat Pacquiao, honestly, man. Listen, you're talking about an individual that has a lot of talent, okay? Ryan Garcia has a lot of talent. I don't want to trash the guy, okay, because he does have a lot of talent. But at the same time, he's still young in the game and has a lot of flaws. He's got his chin up in the air, and he gets away with it with the average fighter. Pacquiao's not an average fighter. Pacquiao's going to pick him apart super easily and make it look like he didn't belong in there, which he really don't, because he's a 135-pounder. Why are you looking after this 147-pounder? Yeah, hey, it makes no sense to me. It has to be a cash out, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's a cash out, man. I think he wants to look for the big payday, and I don't think he's going to stay boxing long, man, if this is what he's doing already.
Well, he's already said that he doesn't want to be in boxing for long.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason is because he noticed that he can make money off his looks. He is making – people don't realize. People are only focused on what he's making as a boxer. He's making tons of money with just his Instagram posts, tons of money just from YouTube alone. He's got 10 million subscribers on YouTube. He's making loads of money with his sunglasses sell and his clothing line. People don't realize. And just to show you how much this kid doesn't care, he deleted his Twitter account with millions of followers. And I agree why he done it. He done it because he said, yeah, it makes no sense that you want to get on me because I speak about God and Jesus, but you're okay with having child pornography in it. I get that. And I agree with him.
I'm just laughing at Ignorant Boxing's comment there. It's funny, man, but true.
Let me keep moving up the comment here. Robert Guerra. They should fight at 140. Pacquiao could drop down to they shouldn't fight at all, Guerra.
Yeah.
At all. This fight should not be taking place. I'm gonna get to Ignorant Boxing. He got jokes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Joanny Diaz, exactly, bro. Pacquiao should not take that fight. Well, you see, Pacquiao got lost. Pacquiao got lots of options like Ugas, Crawford, etc. Maybe Danny Garcia as a tune-up. Yeah, I don't think nobody's gonna want to step in there with Ugas right now. Too much risk for little rewards. But I agree, Ugas is a very dangerous person, and I don't think Danny Garcia is gonna be it. I don't think he wants Crawford, to be honest with you. I think the money would be this easy money. This is easy money for Pacquiao. This is easy money. Let me get to ignorant boxing here. I doubt Oscar makes that fight. If Ryan becomes a, it's going to.
That's what he would become, a meme. He's right.
He would be. He would be. Now, again, guys, this is just talking based on what we have seen. Boxing is the beautiful sport that surprises us from time to time, gives us upsets from time to time. But right now, the evidence is too heavy in favor of Pacquiao. And that's the only thing we got to talk about. It's the only thing we got to talk about. So I was just saying, man, you know, like I was very excited for the potential matchup against Tank Davis. I was very excited. 135-pound division is a lit division packed with competition. And with Ryan Garcia making this dumb move up to 147 pounds, I have to give the kid partial credit for having the fortitude. But like Martinez was saying, legacy here is not the focus. I think it was Martinez or somebody. You know who I'm talking about. I think it's money. And my whole thing is, I thought when you have legacy, that comes with the money, especially a guy like Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
You know? Let's see. Robert Guerra. Speaking of chin in the air, Romero's chin was very suspect last night. And Sparrow looked very bad, even though he took the fight in short notice. But Sparrow was landing that overnight. That's because of Rolly. Like I said, I'll let you go first, Cano, on that one if you want to.
I'm glad you did let me go first, because let me address something about this short notice thing that is being misunderstood.
Yeah.
Before the pandemic, yes, short notice was actually a real thing. Ever since this pandemic, and I know this to be factual, these boxers are being told way ahead of time, hey, these two are fighting on this date. If something happens with one or the other, you're the replacement. It was the same case that happened with Sparrow. So Sparrow was already trained. That's why he made weight with no problem. They know that they're a replacement already. I'll give you another example. Kent Cruz was sitting on the side as a replacement against Mario Barrios and Ryan Carl. He knew that since the day the fight got signed. So he went ahead and trained and got himself ready in case one of them caught COVID or one of them got injured or et cetera, et cetera. So these fighters know, like I said, before the pandemic, that wasn't the case. This is something that they started doing new since the pandemic, because it was the only fair way to do it, to where people knew that the replacement thing wouldn't be such a disadvantage. And then the second thing I'm going to say is I got to apologize to Romero. I ain't going to lie to you, because he showcased a lot of great boxing skills last night. I got to give him props. I don't like his mouth, but his mouth is not what I saw in the ring. What I saw in the ring was him showcasing a lot of boxing skills, a lot of patience, because remember, he knocked him down in the first round, and instead of rushing and trying to keep going for that bomb, he settled down, started throwing his jabs, started working all of his tools in bag and stuff like that. So I was okay with him. I do agree that he tends to have his chin in the air at times. It's not the same as Ryan's. I don't think he does it as much as Ryan, but yes, he does do it. And with high level competition, it could cost him, but I got to give him credit. He did showcase his boxing skills and his speed.
Yeah. I just think, like I was saying earlier, I think he needs to focus a lot more on being a little more relaxed in there. Rolly Romero he needs to know he already packs a punch. If he can relax, he can execute his boxing skills a lot better. He can move with it with more ease. He can preserve energy. To me, he looked a bit stiff on the parts of the fight that I watched last night, because I was more focused on the UFC card, to be honest with you, unfortunately, because there was some good fights there, especially a women fight. But I just think that if they can get him to relax a bit more, to think a little more, by relaxing, he's going to be able to execute a lot more boxing skills with ease. He's going to be able to move in and out with more ease. He's going to preserve a little bit more energy. But I think the fact of him being a bit stiff is the fact that in his mind, he knows I can get you at any time. So I got to be planted for that. When I see that opening, I want to take it and knock you out. So I can he's still in the works, man. He's still in the works. It makes no sense to obviously criticize this kid in any way, shape, or form. He looked a little stiff at times. Yeah, to me, he looked a little stiff. G-Funk in the house, man. Appreciate you. If you want to call in, the link is there. It doesn't matter if you're ugly, if you got lagañas in your eyes, if you're just waking up. It doesn't matter. We're here to talk boxing right now.
I just felt I had to give him his credit because he did look stiff at times, but he also got away from that stiffness, man, and started boxing beautifully, man. I think from round 4 on up. That's what I'm trying to say, man. His patience. He realized, okay, let me change this, because he realizes the last fight he had before this one, he knows in his mind he lost. He may say he won, but he knows he lost that last fight. So he came into this fight with a different mind frame than he did that last fight. This Rolly would have beat Jackson Martinez.
Yeah.
This is not the Rolly that showed up to Jackson Martinez fight. So will that rematch happen with Martinez? I doubt it, because Martinez is now set to face Richard Comey, and honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't think he beats Comey.
Yeah.
I think, see the combination here, because I've known Jackson Martinez since he was young. So I know what he brings to the table. I know. I can honestly tell you that was a bad night for Rolly and a superb night for Martinez. That's not what you're going to get from him night in and night out. So, those kind of things happen in the sport of boxing.
Yeah.
He was like in a zone, I guess is what I'm going to say. Martinez was in his zone that night. That's not what you're going to see all the time out of him. I know people might want to believe that, but you're not going to see that out of him all the time.
For sure. Let me see what Ashley Martinez said. Rolly looked better. I'm sure that Martinez criticism boosts his work some. I have to. Yeah, that could have been. A lot of fighters use criticism from other opponents as a boost. They have a point to prove. They go to the gym and they work at it. So Andres Rodriguez, what's up, Boxing Master? Hey, man, appreciate for that master status you giving us, man. Appreciate that. Let's continue here. Robert Guerrero, I agree with you, Ashley. Yeah. So Joey Diaz, let's go down. For Rolly, he was looking for the KO. That is why he leaves his chin open. On the Martinez fight, every fighter has a fight in the past which they probably lost, but was given a win. Give me a second, guys.
That's 100% accurate. That's my point right there. He was on an off night. Martinez was on a high night. Yeah. I mean, things happen, man. I mean, we can go back to Mayweather and Castillo. Same thing. Yeah. Doesn't mean that Mayweather sucked. It just mean it wasn't his night that night, even though he got awarded the win.
For sure.
It happens in boxing.
Oh, it happens all the time, and it's unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see. I'm hearing Pacquiao versus Garcia is happening. Yeah, G Funky, we've been talking about that, man, and I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about it because it's going to be taking place at 147 pounds, meaning Ryan Garcia will jump 2 weight divisions to do this. It makes absolutely no sense. He'll get, and this is not about skills, guys. This is not going to be down to skills. This is going to be down to about 2 good fighters. One that's a great fighter who is very, very comfortable at the weight division against a very good up and coming fighter who is going to be making his first fight 2 weight division higher than his body's used to fighting at. And
that doesn't add up.
It doesn't. I don't understand if this is. I don't understand. It's hard for me to grasp it. As a fight fan, like I said, that night I'll be there watching it. Just because I don't like the fight doesn't mean I'm not going to watch it. I'll be there to watch it, but it makes absolutely no sense, in my opinion, for that fight to happen.
He's selling it though, yeah.
Yeah. In the Leo versus Fulton fight, 2 of the judges gave only 1 round to Leo. Fulton won, was better, no doubts. But I gave him 4 rounds. Do you guys also think that he only won? I'll let you take this one because I didn't see that fight, brother. I was watching the other one.
Listen, man, the tricky part about judging a fight, man. First of all, the judges are at a different angle than we are watching from TV, so they're going to see the fight differently.
Yeah.
That's first. I mean, I'm not trying to excuse him or nothing like that. I don't put too much into the spread. I did think that Leo won a couple of more rounds that they gave him. But at the end of the day, I don't put no weight on it because the right person won.
Yeah.
Stephen Fulton was obviously the winner in that fight. No doubt in my mind about it. So now if it was a fight where it could have went one way or the other,
Yeah.
and the judges had it all haywire, then I would have had a problem. But the right winner won. So when the right winner wins, I just don't have an issue with it then, you know?
Fair assessment. Fair assessment. I mean, I didn't watch the fight. I did read that this was an action-packed fight. It was like 1,000 punches thrown by the 6th round by both parties. I heard it was a very good fight. I just in situations like this, I partially agree with Kano. You know, if the right guy won, there's no reason for me to go into the judges. However, I do grow a concern because these judges need to be a little more educated, man. A lot of these judges need to be a little more educated. But then the question is, how are you going to educate somebody who has a higher authority than you? And that's what boxing fans needs to start realizing is these judges, they fly by the seat of their own pants.
But you didn't see the fight, did you?
Yeah, they just.
You didn't see the fight?
No, I didn't. I didn't see that fight.
They fought in the phone booth the whole fight. Hard fight to even score.
Wow.
They stayed in the pocket the whole time.
Wow.
So that's why I say the judges might have been at a different angle. You can tell that Fulton was clearly the more effective fighter in the booth, which is why I think they gave him so many rounds.
Yeah.
But you're looking at it on the TV, you can see where Leo had his moments, you know, in a couple of rounds and stuff. So I get why they're saying that, but the fight was fought in the booth. There was no distance between them. They were right there the whole time.
Yeah.
Every last round of it. All 12.
Like I saw some highlights, and I'm gonna go back and watch the full fight tonight. But I just want to quickly appreciate Robert Guerra here. He says, Raw Boxing TV, first time catching your show. Great show, brother. Looking forward to future live shows. Hey, man, I appreciate you stopping by. If you have enjoyed the content, that's the only time I ask you to subscribe. If you don't enjoy my content, I wouldn't want you to subscribe to something you don't like. But if you do enjoy it, please subscribe, activate the notification bell. And I'm looking forward for more live shows. Like I said, the past week, I was very busy. I was constantly traveling. I even joined Cano Loco Sports show while on the road. Bad cell phone signal. I was invited to so many shows that I was joining through the phone, but it was just horrible, man. And this week I got a high schedule, but I'm I'm probably gonna have time on Tuesday to be part of a few shows. So I appreciate you, man. No, man, like I said, unfortunately I missed that great fight. I was at the UFC 257. There was a few fights over there that sparked my interest, and I
just to be fair, I did have the fight 8-4 for Stephen Fulton.
Okay,
I did have him winning 8-4. The only reason I had mentioned what I mentioned was because there was rounds in there that you could have really just tossed the coin in the air and said, it was hard. You know what I'm saying? So
it happens.
That's why I say that this fight was just one of those fights, man. And from the angle that the judges were at, they probably were able to see better skill, better Fulton having his way in the inside, which might have been why he got that many rounds. So this one didn't concern me with the judges as much as it would like it did like the Jackson Marinez with Rolly. That one was blatant, you know, because there was space between them, and you can clearly see what was going on. But this fight, you really couldn't see unless you was at the right angle. Maybe the judges was in a different angle, and all they can see was Fulton's effectiveness.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. G Funky here said, and I missed that comment. I don't know how, because that's my boy.
What he said?
G Funky said the Ryan Garcia is selling his O, and I have to agree with him. Because Ryan Garcia must know that this is not now I gotta tell you something. If this kid goes in there and shocks the world, don't think I'm not gonna come here and give him his dues. I'm gonna keep the same energy across the entire spectrum, the same exact energy. And I'm not hating on the kid. I am a fan of the kid. I'm concerned for the kid. I'm concerned when I see a young fighter being allowed to make such a stupid move like this one. And that's all it is to it. I'm not hating on Ryan Garcia. For those that are probably thinking that we're doing so, I just want to clarify that. Andres Garcia here says they fought, bro. The inside
All fight.
Yeah. Fulton boxed Leo Way and was better. I understood Cano Loco's point. Yeah. I mean, and it's when the right guy wins, I can see why Cano Loco's not gonna bother himself by just let me break this down to see if the judges got it right. No, the judges got it right. Not exactly right, but they got it right.
Right.
And so that's at the end of the day, the guy that gets his hand raised needs to be the correct one. So it doesn't matter in which way they did it, whether it was a split decision or whatever. But if he was the guy that won in our eyes, as long as his hands were raised, that's what mattered. What you guys think about the possible ranking of judges? I have not heard on this. I have not educated myself on this. So if you've heard something on that, Canos, you can chew away on that.
I have not heard nothing on it, but hey, you know what? Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not rank them?
Yeah.
Then we can
Fighters are ranked.
We can know who to hold accountable for certain fights now too.
Yeah.
You know, and you can also say, okay, well, these judges are ranked this high. Let's bring them for this fight. It's a mega fight. Let's bring all the top ranked guys. Hang on, let me.
Yeah. Are you switching your mic?
Nah. I was just pausing it for a minute, man, because I got the lady doing her nails and stuff. You know, I don't know if y'all even hear it.
Oh no, you good, man. I got my kids running around and screaming.
Oh, okay.
So today's not one of them clean shows. Today is whatever. You might hear my kids scream, fight, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So let's see. Robert Guerra says, do y'all think this was Fulton's biggest test? This was a great fight. Leo had a lot of heart, and I think he pushed Fulton to perform his best. I had it 8-4 also for Fulton.
Well, hey, man, at least we're all in agreement with the score. So that's what I'm saying. The right man won either way. I don't know, man, that Alim dude that fought against Victor Pasillas, I think that's going to be his toughest test.
You think so?
Because he's one of them pressure fighters similar to Leo, but he has power behind his punches.
Yeah.
So this may make a difference. I think that would be the Asim. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. You're right.
So
I mean, even though that Leo pushed him to fight the kind of fight that they fought last night, you still think that Asim will be a tougher test?
Yeah, because I believe Fulton came in there fighting Leo's fight on purpose. He said it before the fight that he was gonna. Hey, I'm gonna come up in there in the trenches with him, man. I'm gonna show him that I can bang inside too.
Yeah,
and he did. He stayed in the pocket with him.
He stayed in the pocket. Yeah,
he could have easily outboxed Leo if he wanted to, man. I can honestly see that assessment from looking outside. I'm like, man, why is he doing this? He could just pop the jab and box this dude, but nope, he'll come back in himself. You know, sometimes it was Leo bringing it to him, but then there was rounds that it was Fulton coming in and saying, no, come on back in here. We gonna keep it in the booth. So it was a mutual thing that they both wanted to fight in there.
Yeah. I can kind of see that, man. I think last night's boxing matches didn't disappoint from what I've been reading. I guess unfortunately I missed a lot of them. But I will be educating myself on them especially for the shows that I'm invited to attend to this week. I'm gonna have to at least know what I'm talking about when it comes to these fights that I missed, man. But we're gonna be cutting it here in the next 5 minutes, guys. And man, Canos, man, why don't you tell people here where to find you? I know most of them already know you, but for those that don't, let them know it, brother.
Cano Logo Sports, just like you see it on my screen on there, man, on any platform. Instagram, right here on YouTube, on Twitter. I don't know how to use Twitter much. I get on it and I'll fiddle with it, but I really don't know what the heck I'm doing on Twitter. So if I don't respond to a tweet or something like that, or I don't see it, that's why I'm very, very dumb when it comes to Twitter, but I'm trying to get better at it. You know.
Yeah.
So,
It says here, for Guerra, this is that the 122-pound division needs to start unifying, and I have to agree. I have to agree.
I think all divisions need to start doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, Conor, before we go, because man, now the WBO is telling Usyk he needs to go for Joe Joyce, and basically the mega fight is done for all we know between AJ and Fury. Who you got in that fight, man?
I would favor Fury, but Joshua hasn't signed yet.
No, he hasn't. But it's gonna get made, man. I mean, I think these are two very proud British fighters, and I think that's one of the engines for this fight. It's the fact that they want to make that fight.
I just think this subject is too touchy because a lot of people get emotional about this subject, but the reality of the fact is, yes, everybody wants to see Undisputed. I'm not debating that at all. But the reason Joshua hasn't signed yet is because he is waiting to make sure that the
G-Funk in the house.
He is
Yo, what's up? How you doing, Kano? Raw?
What's going on, man? The reason Joshua has not signed yet is because he is wanting to make positively 100% sure that the fight is going to be for Undisputed, because he's really waiting still on the mitigation with the Wilder issue, which, like I said, people are getting emotional about it. But look, this is not on us.
Correct.
This ain't on us. I mean, this is something that they're working out on the back end over there. So if that's why Joshua hasn't signed, and people need to understand that's the reason. Stuff has still not been settled yet.
Correct. What's up with you? What you got, G?
Oh man, I just figured I'd jump in, man, with you guys on a Sunday. Okay. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Joshua Fury or what?
Right now,
what's on the menu?
We were on the right now we were on the closing argument. I mean, obviously you've been listening. So I mean, if you want to wait on what we've talked about, take time to do so. I was going to close in 5, but if we need 10 or 15, I'm fine with that as well, man.
Oh yeah. Well, first I want to say this, man. I really enjoyed the Showtime card last night. Boxing was off for a couple weeks, and that was a good fight, man. Even though I felt Fulton clearly won the fight, good entertaining fight. You know, there was a lot of close rounds early. I felt after the 8th round, though, man, Fulton just took over that fight. I believe he fought brilliantly, man. You know, he was on the inside. And he got the better of Leo in the inside. He outboxed him when he wanted to. Now, that was kind of here and there, but when he decided to use his legs and stay on the outside, he beat him to the punch out there as well. I was very disappointed in what I saw from Leo. I feel like, and especially his corner too, man. I feel like they were giving him a lot of just, I couldn't even say bad advice. Some of the things, they weren't even saying much. Like, I remember after the 10th round was over, he goes back to his corner, and the guy's telling him, like, "Hey man, we need a knockout," you know, and like, and I'm thinking, okay, why don't you explain to him how to get that knockout? Tell him what to do to get that knockout. Like, maybe it was just the clip that they showed. Maybe he did tell him once they went over to the Fulton side and played the audio over there, but I didn't hear much, advice as to how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just, and then what tells me that they didn't give him good advice after that was that he just went right back out there and did the same thing they've been doing the rest of the fight.
You know, would you agree though that I think Leo did everything he could, man? He was ripping the hell out of Fulton's body. Man, look, you got to give credit to Fulton. This dude came in tip-top shape. I don't know many fighters that would have took that body arsenal that Leo was giving him. My gosh, I'm like, man, he came ready for all of this.
Yeah,
that's very true, man. Leo was ripping him with some good body shots on the inside, man. Credit to Fulton, man. He was able to take him and give back and still move when he wanted to. He impressed the hell out of me, man. He impressed the hell out of me. Going into this fight, I was saying, man, this is a close one, man, because, I could see that both guys' styles could give each other trouble. But Fulton said, "Man, I'm going to fight this dude, man." And to me, I kind of seen from Leo was that when Fulton was there and fighting the dog fight with him, like he was kind of like, I don't know if he was surprised or if it threw him off, but he just I just honestly don't think he expected that.
Right.
And that was my
there,
question.
yeah, once it was there, he was like, I don't know what to do now. This guy ain't going away, you know?
And that's what I was going to ask you,
Man.
G and Kanos. Do you think, because this happens so much in boxing, Kanos, you can testify to this. This happens so much in boxing. A corner goes into a fight expecting something. Then they get something that they weren't expecting, and then the instructions are just not there.
It's not there because they didn't have a second plan. They didn't expect that. And I'm going to tell you something. He fooled me too, okay?
Yeah.
I predicted the right winner. I did not predict it to go the way it went. I thought he was going to box him on the outside.
Correct.
So he fooled me as well. Even though I got the right pick right, I got the details wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, okay, I expected Fulton to win, but I didn't expect this. He's never fought like that, so I don't know, man. Like, I almost can't blame the camp. I almost can't blame Leo's camp because Fulton hasn't shown any of that before.
Yeah.
So I think that was the big issue of why they couldn't tell him nothing. It's like, damn, I mean, what do we tell him?
Yeah.
But there's no excuses. But I mean, I'm like, I don't know what I would have been able to tell him myself. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's tonight was a great example of an unprepared corner. Because listen, you have to study your opponent. You have to study at least his last. Go as far as 5 fights. See what his reactions is, what he changes, what his game plans are, how he changes them. How often does he change them? What does he do when he's under a certain situation? You got to go into a fight with all of that already in the book, and you got to be ready to check.
Yep.
Last night, this corner, just gathering from what I'm hearing because I didn't see the fight. I think this corner just didn't expect this guy to stand there, take 120 body punches like this, like Rodriguez is suggesting here, and still stay in the phone booth and still beat his fighters.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. G-Funky, be honest with me too, man. I did not think that if he took 120 body punches from the body snatcher that he would still be standing there. So I don't know if you saw it the same way as I did on that, but I'm impressed with Fulton. He impressed me.
No, I agree 100% with you on that, Kano. That's one of the main reasons why I picked Leo. I said it was a close fight, but I felt like the pressure, the body work, I like the left hook to the body that he throws, but Fulton was able to take it and give a ton back, a ton back. One thing that I was disappointed with Leo was his inside game wasn't as polished as I thought. I was very disappointed. He kept his head like right in the middle, like right in Fulton's chest a lot when they're on the inside. And you see Fulton, he's moving his head over around to the shoulder. He's doing little tricky things in there to avoid getting blasted with certain shots while Leo's just right there. And he was getting picked apart on the inside in some of those rounds, especially later in the fight. He's got some work to do for sure, man, after this. Maybe this is something that he needed. Hey, you're not going to be able to just do this type of thing to everyone, man. You're going to have to make adjustments on the fly. That's just the way it is sometimes in boxing,
Yeah.
They're going to fight again. They're going to fight again. I see them fight. They're going to meet up again. It's just no way around it. They're going to end up, maybe not the next fight, but I could see them meeting up again. This has all the makings of a double or even a trilogy fight between these two because they're fireworks together, man. They mesh well, man.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about it is, just gathering from what I'm hearing, the fans were left with a good taste.
Yes.
Good taste enough to go back for a second try, right? So, yeah, they might fight again. G-Funky, any closing thoughts on the Conor McGregor? Me as a boxing fan, I don't care for a Pacquiao fight anymore. And also, any closing thoughts on the Garcia Pacquiao at 147 pounds?
Well, I haven't seen, well, I shouldn't say I haven't seen it, but I didn't see the full fight with McGregor last night. It's been a long time since I watched a UFC card, man. I'm not going to lie. It's just become too wrestler dominant for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to wrestlers. I respect their craft. It's just not the prettiest and most entertaining thing to watch sometimes, So, yeah, I haven't really been interested in the UFC in a while. McGregor, hey, he got caught with a shot, couldn't recover, and the dude took him out. So I can't really give too much of an analysis. Like I said, I didn't watch the whole fight, but I did see the highlight of the knockout. So yeah, the Pacquiao that fight is done now, which is, hey, I'm good with that. I'd rather see Pacquiao obviously fight a real boxer if he's gonna have a boxing match. But as far as his fight with Garcia, yeah, that's it's a little disappointing for Ryan because he's had a tall mountain to climb now, going up to 147, coming off of the biggest win of his career where he was dropped. But credit to him, he was able to get up and finish Campbell. But this is a different beast here, man. I mean, if the southpaw gave you a little bit of trouble in Campbell, this southpaw here is going to be hell, especially at 147, man. And even though Pacquiao's up there in age now, I think he's 41 now, he's still got speed. He's still got power there at 147. I mean, he put Thurman down. He hurt Thurman to the body. He's got the experience, and he's got a good chin.
Pacquiao's seen it all in there too, bro. Exactly.
He's got way more experience as far as the professional fighting goes. So this is a tough fight for Ryan, man. I hope he gets compensated well because I think he's definitely going to take a loss here, man.
Yeah. My whole thing is this. I'm still shocked because I'm sitting here thinking, analyzing the situation, and other than money, I can't find any other reason for this fight taking place.
Yeah.
I just can't find it. So, I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I was already preparing myself to drop a Tank Davis versus Garcia prediction, and then we get hit with this. I don't get it. I don't understand why boxing is allowing this stuff to happen, because at the end of the day, you guys may not agree with me, but Garcia goes in there and gets destroyed. Boxing takes a hit, not because boxing depends on Garcia, but because we lose a potential excellent fighter for the future at 135 and 140 pounds. Because if Garcia gets destroyed in there, man, I don't see much happening in the future for him. I can't see it, man, because we all know, we've all seen by experience, when Pacquiao puts work on you, it's not light work.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you guys, what your thoughts are, man, but I just don't agree. Kanos, any closing argument, man?
No closing arguments, man. Hey, just everybody, if you're in here, man, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed and just watching, go ahead and subscribe to Raw Boxing TV, Conor Local Sports, and G Funky Boxing.
For sure, man.
But make sure you hit the like button, man. Folks, it doesn't cost anything to hit that like button.
For sure, man. Hey, guys, we're going to be closing it here, man. Like I said, I apologize. Money calls, and I have to go, brother. And this past week, I was all over the place. Matter of fact, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to jump in the shower and get ready. I'm leaving to West Virginia. Then tomorrow, I'll probably go to New York. Tuesday, I'm going to try to be off so that I can attend a lot of shows that are inviting me. But then I'm back to traveling. So, but we're going to keep the content moving one way or another. Random schedules. I want to thank everybody that stayed here with us, enjoying such a great show. I'm glad Kanos called in. I'm glad G Funky called in. I'm glad you guys were active in the comment section and kept it PG and respectful. I really enjoyed today's random pop-up because I just ran. I said, let me just do a live while the wife is doing some groceries, and here we are, man. So subscribe to all of our channels, man. All of our channels have great content, unbiased as possible, very little emotion. I'm not going to tell you without emotions. We all carry emotions one way or another. So subscribe to Conor Local Sport on all of the platforms, G Funky Boxing, Raw Boxing TV. Till next time, people, we out.